Hello, my name is Nalik. Today I'm going to teach you how to make an Otamatone in Recroom. Things that were relevant 6 years ago? Yeah, we're going to make that. It's simple, it's funny. Yeah, let's just get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go into your watch, press backpack, press use on the maker pen. If it's favorited, just pull it out of your back. So you're going to want to go into tools, and then go into palette. When you're palette, you want the shape to be tube, and the color to be white, and the cardboard and the material to be glossy plastic. So this is probably the longest part, and you're gonna want to pay attention to this because this is just explaining all the tools. I mean, really, if you just get one of the tools wrong, it'll look completely different than mine. So just pay attention. So the snapping to be grid. Uniform shapes on. Tube settings. You're gonna want the radius to be 0.04. We're gonna scale it down to be probably around 0.01 to 0.02, but we're gonna build it to be 0.04 just because that's easier. Tube height scale be 1. Tube facets 10. Tube analog mode off. Smooth tubes and connect nearby tubes both on. So the grid snapping settings. Position snap, we'll go 0.05. Rotation snap 30. And that's pretty much all the things that are important. We might change the position snap every now and then, but I'll make that very clear when we do. First thing we're going to want to do is go up here. We're going to make kind of like a V with our tube. You're going to want to make sure it's like straightforward. As you can see here, the line, like in the middle, it's kind of like the edge is kind of going off. We really don't want that, just because that's really hard to fix later. So we're just going to want to make sure that's perfect since the beginning. So we have our V. We're going to want to put that to the side, kind of like a V in the line. It's all straight. And then you're going to want to go down. We're going to work on the body of it right now. Or the body, or the face, or the mouth, or whatever you want to call it. Take a sphere. Sphere. Put it in there. And make it about that big. You're going to want to move that over here. You want there to be a little bulge out here, but you don't want it to be completely just off because that looks weird, and you don't want it to be too in the middle because that's also just not how it looks. So we want the bulge to be kind of like that. Cool. You're still on sphere. For the swatches, you're going to want to change the color to be black. Now we're going to make the eyes. We want the eyes to be kind of right here. And you see how this is just like too big of a difference? Like, we don't want an eye that size, but we also don't want it smaller than that. We're going to make the position snap to be 0.01 very quickly, just to get the size that we want it to be. Want it to be that size. We're going to put it back. Actually, we're going to keep it at 0.01 very quickly, because we're going to rotate it to the side and then up. Now we're going to move that back. And that's what we want it to look like. So now, we're going to clone that to the side, and we're going to kind of try to mirror everything the best as we can, as we just did. So, it's facing kind of that way. We're going to move that, so it's facing the middle, and then that way. Then, use the blue one, and rotate it that way. Now it's the same, or as close as it can get. And we're going to move that on the other side. Just kind of mirrored. I think that is the best that we can do. And create for the shapes to be cylinder. Cylinder to be in the middle. It looks funny. It kind of just looks like a mouth. But we are going to make the mouth, but it's not going to be that small. We're going to press manipulate, and we're going to manipulate that outwards, kind of to that point, and pull it back so it has more depth. And we're going to move that until those are just on the sides. Like that. That's pretty much like perfectly what we want to do. We're going to move that. That looks terrible. As you can see here, it kind of looks weirdly neutral. Like there's no like, it doesn't really look like it's smiling or no expression on it. So what we're going to want to do very quickly, this is very small but it makes a big difference, is we're going to rotate, turn snapping off very quickly. Rotate that downwards. So it kind of looks like it's smiling. And we're going to turn snapping back on a grid. So now we're completely done with the face of it. That's done. Now back to the hard part. We were delaying this, but we're coming back to it. Face our fears. We're going to press edit. Edit this. We're going to press edit. And edit again. And you might not have seen this before. You might have. I'm not sure. But these are the points of the tube. So we're going to select these two. Options. And insert a point. So there's another point that we can move around. We're going to select these two as well. And insert a point there. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we are going to press scale. We're going to turn snapping off. So you have to be very careful about everything you're doing, because it's very hard to go back from stuff that you do here with the points. So what you're going to do is scale that up just a little bit. Is you're going to, and you're going to press the next one and scale that up even more. Press the next one. Scale it up, but it's going down slightly. And then scale that, keep that about the same, and then scale this down. I'm going to move this down as well. And actually, in between these two, I'm going to select these two. Unselect that one, and select these two. And I'm going to insert a point in between there as well. So it just kind of looks more smooth. Make that one bigger. Select these three, and I might just move that in a little bit. Alright, now that we got that, we're going to do the last finishing touch. This part's very easy. Make sure you're still on cylinder. Go in the middle, create a cylinder here. About that big, maybe a little bigger. Actually, I'll just keep it that size. And make a cube also. Make a cube that big. I'm going to manipulate that, so down a little bit. I'm going to bring that up. This is kind of like the slidey part of the instrument, where you like slidey fingers and it makes the noise and whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And you're going to take the bottom cylinder, duplicate it back up. Move it up. Actually, maybe I'll move that up a little bit more. Actually, I'll move it up a lot more. And then I will manipulate this towards connecting it. Alright, we're done with everything. It does look a little bit weird. And I think that's just because the face is too big. I just made it too big. We started out with the cylinder being too big. We started out with the sphere being too big. Sorry. I should go back to kindergarten. I don't know my shapes. But I'm going to scale down a little bit. Move it a little bit back up here. Nice. We have our instrument. I forgot to mention that this doesn't have to be white. Like, it can be any light color that you'd like. Pineapple. Pea color. Sure. We can make it look like pea. We can make it look blue. I think that's a nice color to go with it. Yeah, that's nice. You can do any color. I don't suggest any dark colors though. Like this, like that doesn't look the greatest with these like small bits being black. You could technically make these small things white, but it just looks weird. I have seen like black on white automatones before, kind of like this, but I just suggest light colors on black, like this. Thank you for following this tutorial. My next video will be out in the next couple of days, so just be on the lookout for that. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.